This review is for a very specific person. So I'm gonna ask you a couple questions, and if you answer no to any of them, you may want to move on to the next video because this car may not be for you. So let me answer you these questions. First and foremost, are you looking for a city car that's tiny, that's electric, that's inspired by beauty, and that's rose gold to match, let's say, your rose gold Apple Watch or iPhone? If so, I actually have the perfect car for you. It is the new Fiat 500e inspired by beauty, which, as you may have guessed, cost more than the Fiat 500 Red, which I reviewed a few months ago in Miami, and that one was around $33,000. Now this one is more, and I will tell you how much more by the end of this video. So if you're still hanging with me, then I suspect this is the perfect car for you because it is tiny, it is rose gold, and it is electric. So let's talk about some of the numbers so that you know what you're getting. And we can do that by looking under the hood, where you will find, of course, not an internal combustion engine, but an electric motor. And let me look at my cheat sheet here. So this car has 42 kilowatt hour battery pack, which is good for about 150 miles. So once again, a city car. Produces 117 horsepower and 162 pound-foot of torque. Now my little cheat sheet says that the exterior color is obviously rose gold, and get this, the interior color is cream. And if you're wondering, fuel economy wise, 121 city and 100 EPA MPGE equivalent. So it is very economical, and it is, I'll repeat it again, very rose gold. It's also built in Italy, and there are some nice little reminders of that right there. And of course it follows up from the previous Fiat 500e, which had considerably less range, but was a little bit more masculine. This tends to be on the more feminine side, with these very cute, call them eyes, and these very well manicured eyebrows. I mean, look at that. I'm sure the Kardashians would be very proud to have eyebrows like that. All right, and let's talk about how much room it has in the back, and the answer is, well, not much, because it is pretty tiny. So let me open the back, and you'll note that there's probably enough room for your makeup kit, maybe a roller bag, and then of course, if you wanted to add a little more room, you can fold these seats down. And yes, I will try to sit in the back just to find out if there's actually room for a human being in the back. So this is the, I'm going to call it the acrobatic part of the review, where a very chunky Roman that's 6'2". This is the problem. We already have a backpack here and some coffee. Tries to get in the back. So maybe I'll try it on this side and see if I actually fit. All right, here I go. I suspect nobody will want to come back here if you own this car. This is definitely a two-person car, but yeah, maybe, you know what? Purse dogs. Perfect for purse dogs, because there's an airbag there that can be dangerous to small animals. So I think anything up to like a 50-pound purse dog, which is probably not a purse dog, would be very happy in the back. But any human with legs that's not a kid is probably going to be pretty miserable. But let's face it, no one's going to sit in the back. And then your purse dog will know that you are in a Fiat, especially if they can read, by looking at the seats, which of course have Fiat embroidered deeply into them. And then if you want to know where it's made, you can look right in there. It's made in, of course, Torino, Italy. That gives it that Italian zest for life, shall we call it, the need for no speed, but a deep need for style and some comfort. Because up front here, it actually is relatively comfortable. I have plenty of headroom, I have plenty of shoulder room, and like the previous Fiat 500e, this one is actually a little bit more designed for humans. The other one was very tiny. And then if you want to know what the skyline of Torino looks like, just don't put your phone there, and you'll always have a great reminder of that. To start it, you push the button. You do have real buttons for HVAC. Your battery state of charge is displayed, which is nice. And then you also have miles based on battery state of charge. So at 92%, I have 126 miles. This is probably where you know what I'm about to say. Your personal results may vary because electric cars are, of course, affected by weather, temperature, driving style, yada, yada, yada. Now, speaking of driving style, we do have different modes. So you can show right there, we have normal, we have range, and we have Sherpa. I don't know what Sherpa is. I'm kind of baffled by that. Let me know in the comments below if you know what it is, Cole?
I'm assuming it's go the furthest.
Cole is saying it's go the furthest, but I think that would be emo. Well, that would be range mode, wouldn't it? Wouldn't range mode be go the furthest? All right, I'm going to go with normal because I think range is kind of the farther you want to go. Probably does some things like cuts down the air conditioner. But Sherpa, let me know in the comments. All right, so let's take it for a ride. I'm not in love with a push-button transmission, but here we have it. It is very quiet, as all electric cars are. I do like this use of materials. That's a really nice touch. And then here in the center, you have volume, your e-brake, and of course your different drive modes. It's actually a really simple car to kind of wrap your mind around. And it's nice because it has real stalks, it has real buttons, and it, like on this side of the steering wheel, obviously is all your lane keep and your proximity distance control for your cruise control. Pretty straightforward stuff, nothing there that is confusing. And I've been doing a lot of reviews here at the Automotive Video Awards of different cars, and some have baffled me, quite honestly. This one is pretty much plug and play, which is nice. And another nice thing about it is it really is a great city car. This would be kind of a nice car if you have no garage or a tiny garage and you live in the city and you need something just to run errands, or you need something that you could probably park in front of the house that's not going to take up a lot of parking spaces so that you can squeeze into tight spaces. I used to go visit my now wife in downtown Chicago, and she had no street parking, and that was always a nightmare. I would have killed for a car like this because this thing would probably squeeze into most spaces that a lot of cars would have trouble even negotiating, let alone fitting in. All right, we'll give it a little bit of the beans in a second as we make this turn, and we'll see just how much squirt of electrons we'll get out of the battery. If I remember right, from driving the red version, and that's, by the way, a model name for the Fiat 500e. It's not just red, because you can get it in red, but it's also kind of the entry-level model. And this, of course, is the fancier one. So, floored, yeah, you're not going to get television. But steering is light. Brakes actually are really good for how much they're regenerating. Sometimes manufacturers have a hard time with that. Andre just drove the BYD Shark, and he said the brakes on that were just awful. Like they couldn't get that balance between regen and braking correct. Here, it just feels very natural and very progressive, so you don't feel like, the first part of the brake pedal does nothing, and then the very end part like bites. That's kind of the worst. And in general, it's just a very simple and easy car to live with. Now, I just read in the news that Fiat has kind of paused construction of these in Italy because they're not really taking off here in America, and I think there's a simple answer to that, because it is a really good car. It's just too expensive for what it is. Selling small premium cars in America has always been difficult. Think about, I'm sure that smart car is exactly premium, but think about the small premium European cars like the BMW X1, the Audi, the small tiny Audis that usually we don't get. There's just a sense in America that if it's expensive, it has to be big. And partially that still holds true today. So what you have here, let me look at my cheat sheet again so I can give you the exact price, is a car that with destination, I'll show you, costs $37,595. That's a lot. Even though you do get all of this kind of, cool electronic driving aids, everything from, lane departure warning. It's not beeping at me. There's nothing behind me, dude. Apparently the backup sensors are a little too sensitive. Keyless entry and go, the TFT, that's very bright and very sharp. So there's a lot of cool wireless stuff. Of course, CarPlay and Android Auto, Sirius XM. I'm not sure push button start is something I'd be willing to pay for, but LED headlights and time lights, and 2 active driving assists, blind spot monitoring, basically all the safety stuff that you'd want while driving around in a tiny car in the city. Because let's face it, if you do happen to hit a non-tiny car in America, which would not be that unusual, or a non-tiny truck, there is a concern as to just how safe you are in something this small. But small things don't have to be not safe, as long as they have all the safety features, which this seems to have. Push button doors, which are kind of cool. But anyway, the problem, like I was saying, is that you're looking at a car that's $37,000, and if you judge your dollars spent by pounds bought, you're not getting a lot with this. But if this is your second car and you live in places like LA, Chicago, New York, and you just need something to go get groceries or to go to the airport and pick somebody up or drop somebody off, as long as it's not a whole family, then this might be the vehicle for you. I mean, it will match your iPhone and your watch. And if you're one of those people who really is into that, with a purse dog that's also in a rose gold purse, then you're be styling. All right, guys, as always, this is Roman. Head on over to alltfl.com. Thank you very much for Fiat and the AVAs for letting me do these reviews, and there'll be a lot more of these coming, so stay tuned, and I shall see you next time. Ciao.